All right, here we go with problem number 9. We have the integral of 1 over 1 plus sine x with respect to x, so dx. And that is fun. All right, so we have 1 over 1 plus sine x. We can't really use u sub yet. We can't really use parts yet. We don't really have any trig identities that would work good for us in 1 plus sine x. We do have 1 minus sine x squared. If we can get 1 minus sine x squared, that will give us cosine. So why don't we try and start by, I'm just going to zoom in here, and we'll start by multiplying both sides by the, multiply both sides by 1 minus sine x over 1 minus sine x. And because that's the same thing on the top and the bottom, it's 1. And multiplying by 1 doesn't change any of the values here. So what we can do here is now we can say that this is on the bottom. We can say that's in the form a plus b times a minus b, which is just going to be a squared, which is 1 squared is 1, minus b squared is sine squared x dx. We have this 1 minus sine x on the top, which is awesome. And like we said before, our goal was to write it as 1 minus sine x over, and the 1 minus sine x squared is cosine x squared, so cosine squared of x dx. All right. See if we can move down, or maybe over, I guess. I'm running out of space. Okay, so now we can split up this integral into this kind of this part, the 1 over cosine squared x, minus this part, which is the sine x over cosine squared of x. So we'll go ahead and do that now. We get 1 over cosine squared of x. That's also secant of x. So I'm just going to go ahead and write it as secant of x. And when we're integrating, it's also the antiderivative. And we know that the derivative of tangent is secant squared of x. So the integral of secant squared of x is tangent. So that equals tangent of x. Sweet. And now we're going to subtract the integral of the other side. So we have sine x over cosine squared of x. So sine x over cosine squared x dx. That's going to be minus something here plus c. I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this. I'm going to go ahead and rewrite all of this over here. So I have tangent x plus, minus the integral of sine x over cosine squared of x dx. I'm going to do a quick little u sub on this guy. U is going to be cosine of x, so that du is going to be negative sine of x. So du is negative sine of x. So then I can make that into a plus. So I have the tangent of x plus the integral of u to the negative 2 du, which equals tangent x plus negative 1 cosine to the negative 1 x, which is tangent x minus secant x plus c. And there it is. All right, that was pretty fun. I hope you enjoyed that one. That was pretty tricky to multiply by the reciprocal, or multiply by its conjugate, and then you could use your trig rules, and we had some fun steps in there. All right,